You gotta say something motivational.
But I'm playing this game.
You know what motivational is?
No.
It's like something, you gotta say something good. Get the people something good. Can you do that real quick? Say something like, those who work hard get rewarded. Those that work hard get rewarded.
Those get hard that get rewarded. I don't know.
So you ready to repeat after me? Those that work hard get rewarded.
Get rewarded.
There you go. Now say it all together.
These people that work hard get rewarded.
There you go. There it is. Good job. Think about the game of basketball. Like, really sit back and think about it. Think about it from the aspect of fear. Does fear really have a place in basketball? Does it really belong? Sit back and think about when you're little, watching elementary kids or being an elementary kid playing basketball. All you got to do is worry about going out there, having fun, learning the game, family in the crowd, playing with your friends, having a good time. Things start to pick up as you get a little bit older. You're in middle school. That's where it really gets serious at. You start having your first tryouts and cuts. Then in high school, it starts to get intense. The main goal in high school is to make it to that varsity level. That's where you get all the glory and the shine at. That's where you had a whole city and town and community on your back, cheering you, applauding you on, everybody knowing your name. Then you shoot for that next level, trying to play in college, earning that scholarship, earning the right to walk around campus high and proud with your university across your chest. But then a small percentage of people are lucky enough to go to that next level and make it to the NBA or playing pro in general. And that's when you make money, getting to do what you love. But it all stems from not being fearful. So that goes back to the question, does fear really belong in the game of basketball? And if you do have fear, how do you remove it? Or how do you get past it? That's the question right now in hand. There's about 500,000 people that play basketball in the world, and there's only 18,000 people that play in college. Think about the fear and the pressure of getting a scholarship to play at that next level and move on. There's only 7% of the people that make it to the NCAA for any sport. Now from there, there's only 3% that make it to play college basketball at any level. And then of that, there's only 1% that make it to the NCAA to play Division I basketball. And then beyond that, there's 0.01% that make it to actually play in the NBA, which is what everybody has their sights set on as soon as they pick up a basketball. Everybody wants to make it to the NBA.
In other news tonight, Lorain police are still looking for the gunman who shot 3 people.
We continue to follow breaking news out of Elyria this morning. Live is over the area where police are investigating a shooting.
Lorain, 2 deadly shootings within just a couple of miles of each other.
Like, as you can see, like, coming from my city isn't easy. Like, it was a lot of violence. The city started losing money. So rec centers started shutting down. Wasn't a lot to do. A lot of people, you know, that didn't make the sports teams and stuff or couldn't go out to play because of the rec centers, they started turning a life of crime. So we got a lot of gang affiliation and everything. But our town, it's so weird because our city is like split in two. Like there's like good parts of our city and bad parts. And I know it's like that in most cities, but like picture like a big city on a smaller scale. Like I would say 3 sides to 1 like are worse than like that one good side. So that one good side, those kids are sheltered and like not even to put a race on it, but those kids are predominantly white. So like in the black neighborhoods, you know, it's kind of like mid class to like lower class. So it was just hard to grow up with in some ways. And I mean, the only thing I felt like I had was basketball at certain points, you know, and that just was like my outlet. That was the outlet that I knew to work hard in. And if I worked hard in it, it could potentially like get me out the situation. Like I know hard work and academics will get you out, but like, I mean, at the end of the day, school wasn't that motivating for me. Like I was a good student, but I wasn't really like too pressed about going to college and doing something. But the thought of like playing basketball at the next level like really excited me. So like ever since I got that first adrenaline rush from playing it, even though I was terrible at it, it like started consuming me like of what I wanted to do with my life. And I remember getting cut from the team and that being such a motivator for me to make varsity, and then making varsity and then wanting to play in college because people couldn't say I do it. So I guess like people telling me that I couldn't do things like really motivated me the most out of everything.
How's my boy doing? Yeah, he's gonna take it for us. Was he? Yeah. Second half time out is on 5. Appreciate that. Thanks for coming. Yeah, man. He's a real hooper. That's what y'all learn from you, man.
My senior year, the first time I even seen Cleveland State was when they played Syracuse, and they ended up being tied, and Cedric Jackson hit a full court buzzer beater shot.
We're tied. Plenty of time for Cedric Jackson.
One last shot, Jackson, near full court, and the Vikings have won.
And then I was just, excited. And then I remember like going through the season after that game and then keeping up with them. And then they ended up winning the Horizon League Championship to get an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament.
Not there, battling inside, taken away by Butler. 3 on the way, no. Underneath, rebounded by Butler. This game is over, and Cleveland State has upset Butler to win the Horizon Championship, 57-54.
2 close games, 2 games decided.
Like once I started doing more research on the team, like the coach, Gary Waters, who I'm so blessed and extremely tight with to this day, like he's one of the greatest coaches in the country. And now I get a chance to learn from this guy.
And there was a reason why we were picked number 1, because we're the best team in this league. And I said, we haven't lived up to it at times, but now you got your chance. And if you go out and play the way you're capable of playing, it doesn't matter who you play.
Like, everything just seemed like it was starting to fall in the right place at the right time. Imagine this. This is your life. Walking these halls like something I took for granted every single day. Like, you're a Division I athlete, like, which is crazy. You play in an arena full of 16,000 people. Like, that's what you do. You're playing in front of 16,000 people, which is insane. And that sophomore year, like my freshman year, couldn't play due to some stuff in high school, so I didn't really get to grow and develop, which started the fear factor. Like, I think when I came in, like if I would have got that freshman year under my belt, I would have been fine because I was so young. I was 17, turning 18. I was young at the time. But then coming into my sophomore year, the team was elite.
I think you just hit my phone. I don't know how I'm getting home, but when I do, it's gonna be on. I turn it up. Don't know how I'm getting home, but when I do, it's gonna be on. I was getting faded, but the party was overrated. Then I got the call that you wanted me to fall through and give me that belated. Thought you were getting jaded. Thought you said I'm overrated. Damn, ain't it funny now you wanna get it from me, you alone get it wasted. You said you were the one for me, now you wanna play games, wanna run from me. Deep down, know you'll never get enough from me, so you call me out to fuck with me. So I turn it up tonight. I I think you just hit my phone. I don't know how I'm getting home, but when I do, it's gonna be on. I'm turn it up tonight. I think you just hit my phone. Don't know how I'm getting home, but when I do, it's gonna be on.
You want a fast life, but still fuck slowly. Talking to me like the old me. Throwing shade like Oakley. Told them all they don't know me. The same small change to me. Took a shot close range to me. Now you waiting on a rather be. What a tragedy when you had your majesty. You ain't done the work for it. Your call, I try to ignore it, but when I'm in it, I explore it. So fuck it, I'm gonna floor it for you. So
I turn it up tonight. I think you just hit my phone. I don't know how I'm getting home, but when I do, it's gonna be on. I turn it up tonight. I think you just hit my phone. Don't know how I'm getting home, but when I do, it's gonna be on.
I mean, we had everything going. We had dudes with experience. Now, half of these dudes had played in the tournament their freshman years, so it was just crazy. Norris Cole was a senior that year. He was setting the bar high. He was getting looks, NBA looks, and it was just a lot going on at one time to be stepping into. And especially like for somebody like me who missed out on that year before, it was nerve-wracking. So, I mean, that sophomore year, like, we were rolling. Like, it felt like we were the best team in the country. Like, I mean, we were the first team in the country that year to 12-0. We had the best guards, the best backcourt. I felt like we had the best front court. We had the best coaching staff, in my opinion. Like, we had the best record in school history to top it off, like, to show you how well that season went. But, like, all the things in between, like, we worked hard at practice. Guys got time in on their own in the gym. We hung out as a team, so it was like a brotherhood. It was just like everything was flowing. But in my head, like, I created this fear because I felt like I wasn't good enough, which I don't know why. Out of nowhere, it just hit me. Like, I was just overthinking, and, you know, I got a little bit of ADHD. Well, not even a little bit, a lot of it. So, like, me not being able to remember stuff, and now I'm dealing with a situation where people don't really know me, and I'm not, like, opening up and letting a lot of people get to know me, which is not letting them know how my personality is, and just causing me like a whole bunch of spiraling in my own mind, which people didn't even know was going on.
Hi. Okay. Big day today. The future is now. And I'm an old has-been trying to add value.
That's a legend. Sweet 16 tournament team. David Robinson.
What do you do when you're in the huddle? 1, 2, 3. What'd you say growing up? In your grade school, and high school, and college? 1, 2, 3.
That one.
You know what Mackie said? 1, 2, 3. Together.
Yeah, they're hard. It's hard. I can't
there you
win
go.
with that.
Camera side, yeah.
Demetrius Lovett.
Playing with the New York Nets. Clinton originally signed with Ohio State. He gets his first.
He's a good-looking blonde. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot.
We thank you for all you've given to the tradition of Cleveland State. Fans, please give another Viking welcome to our Cleveland State men's basketball alumni. Got him a new you try to get back.
Alumni Day, huge success. Good to see everybody. Hall of Famers are some of the guys that we used to talk to. They used to come around, and then just good seeing like the community. Like it's nice seeing the community, getting to talk to everybody, and especially like seeing all the old teammates. You know, everybody had a lot of fun. Like we were like a close knit group when we were there. I was in and out. I had my own problems in college, like with basketball, not focusing on school too much and stuff. I think that's really why I started coaching. But get the back to do stuff like that. Sometimes it feels weird because I feel like I'm not alumni at times, but then I do, like I feel the love and support. But just why you can't take all that stuff for granted. While you had the opportunity, you gotta make sure you're taking advantage of it. And that's something that I wish I could get back. Like especially like being fearful and not like putting myself all the way out there like at practice and stuff and really showing my abilities and stuff. Just being nervous, like when you don't make mistakes, you don't have a chance to get better because people can't correct you, and when they can't correct you, they can't show you the right way to do something. So that's like the hard part about it. So some regrets, but can't hold on to them forever. That's why I coach, to kind of pour that into kids now and try to make sure that when they step out on the floor and stuff, that they're confident in their abilities and everything they do. And then my job on the other end of that is to make sure that they know that when they make mistakes and all that it's not over. It's not the end of the world. Like making a mistake, learn from it, get better. And so, it's a two-way street, but definitely got a lot of regrets in college. But, you just move on, and I just enjoy the experiences now. A lot of athletes have the same problems, especially when it's time to hang up the shoes. What's the next move? What's the next goal? What's the next joy? What's the next thing that's going to fulfill your day? So a lot of people turn to the sidelines, which means that they're going to be influencing the next generation and stepping into the role of coaching. See, for me, coaching was going to be easy because I made so many mistakes during my journey in high school and in college that this was going to be a breeze trying to influence the next generation because I had so much to tell them and so much advice to give them and so much love to give them, because that's one of the missing things in this. Dude right here, Alex came out. This dude gave me my first chance. That's one of my guys, like forever, no matter how it's cut. He gave me my first chance without anybody offering me or coming to talk to me, and right away he let me come and make an impact in the program. I mean, look at, like, we had fun during games. Like, he always took my opinion seriously, and he never questioned me too much. And then there's Coach Higgs. Coach Higgs is so special, feeding all the boys all the time, coming out making a huge impact. Then there's Coach Hayes. Coach Hayes has been around. He's graduated from here, went to college, came back. And he has such an impact on the guys because they get to see what it's like for guys to come back and have a special place for this school. So it's just like our whole coaching staff just fit together. Like we meshed, from top to bottom. So coaching was different. Like I felt like all the parts that I felt like were neglected, coaching was different. All the parts that I felt like were neglected in high school and college, I wanted to make sure that I emphasize those and really pay attention to the kids' emotions and the kids, like, how they are. This is a different generation, especially, everybody says it all the time. So now I got to make sure I'm paying attention to that. But not only that, but I wanted to make sure I knew each kid individually. Like a parent, like you can have 2 or 3 kids, but every kid is going to be different. They got their own personality. They got their own way that they tick. I wanted to make sure that I was paying attention to that. And then not only that, but like I was the only black coach, not only in Lakewood at the time on the men's side, but I was the only black coach in the conference. So I brought like a different type of attitude, and I wanted to bring a swagger to Lakewood that they never had before. You gotta do stuff the right way and it works in your favor. If you legit have something that's, if you're sick, if you got family stuff, that's legit. Like, you'll be forgiven, but you can't be rewarded in life if you do stuff the wrong way. So now we got to figure out how to shift our energy back to focusing. Like, you can't, when people are mad and they say something to a group, you can't take it to heart. You just got to own up to the mistake and you just got to let it go, right? You just got to own up and let it go. If you mess up, you mess up. There ain't no way around it. If you mess up in life, you just got to own up to it and you got to continue on with your day, right? You control your energy. And the thing about joy, like I talked to you about last time, you control your joy. If you let somebody rob your joy, then it's on you. And I only touched on parts and being real with the boys all the time, but I wanted to make sure that I was also touching on the fun parts of basketball. I'm touching on the fun parts of, you know, being a brotherhood and being a family, on the court, off the court, everything. So I had to make sure it all meshed together. First year, it's not that we weren't good. I think I got there late, so the boys didn't really get to know my personality too much. Again, not getting to know somebody hurts. It hurts the cohesiveness of a group. And then I was also working a corporate job still, and I didn't have too much time at practice with the boys, so I was only getting to see them on game days, and that was it. Not that I didn't build a relationship, but it wasn't as in-depth. But year two, you know, we went from 7-16 to year two. I mean, we hit the ground rolling. We ended up winning. We ended up being really good that year. We had guys that were veterans. We ended up winning the conference championship that year. We ended up with the school's best record. Like, come on, we won the championship and ended up with the school's best record in Lakewood history, which is crazy to say. So that's just paying homage to how hard these guys worked. And let them know. Tell them you ain't got no undershirt on. You know how much fun it was, truly. Like, and then we ended up figuring out that, hey, we were starting a dynasty. That second year, that was the group that everybody was talking about.
Thanks for hanging with us on this edition of the High School Sports Insider. Lakewood has been one of the early season surprises in boys basketball in Northeast Ohio. Lakewood's calling card, a physical, tough, aggressive defense that's just no fun to play against. Lakewood is hoping to keep things rolling through conference play and into what they expect will be a deep playoff run. This was the group that, you know, was predicted to win the state championship. I remember in the summertime, we're just going out, wiping the floor with people, playing, like going out. And then our first game, we had beat Lorraine in a shootout. So one of my teams from my hometown, we had beat them in a shootout, and they had just went to the Final Four the year before. So when we beat them, people started realizing, like, okay, Lakewood was the real deal. Come on. Get behind. Then varsity, JV, freshmen, and then we had the middle schoolers that were with us too. So now we're starting to create culture in this. And, you know, that year's group was committed because they seen how last year went with the 22-3 record. And now we started adding fun pieces to it. We got new freshmen that came in, and now they were adding, you know, joy to the program.
Man, record me one more time. You already know what it is. I'm recording my... For all the light-skinned girls, you know how I'm coming, man. All summer 2019, I'm coming crazy.
Everybody say what's up to the snap real quick.
You ain't got no bird.
Okay. Okay. You want swimming with?
With my girl over there in that pool over there.
Which one? That one?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Her name's Selena.
Where's she from?
She's from California, but she came down here to see me.
What's her ethnicity?
Huh?
What's her ethnicity?
She's black, and Chinese.
For real?
Yeah.
What's her last name?
Hernandez.
Hernandez? But she Chinese?
Yeah.
Who Puerto Rican? Her mom or dad?
Her dad.
Her dad? So her mom's Chinese? Where's she from? Like what part of Asia?
Huh?
What part of Asia is she from?
South Korea.
South Korea. Woo-hoo, she international, huh?
Yeah.
You an international lover?
No.
Show the people one time, like, give them your look. Give them your last look. Give me your last look. Come on, look them up. What you gonna do? Fix your money? Ooh, that boy. We were working hard. We were going throughout the season, and we were rolling. Like, we had a lot of coverage on us. You got a 6'6" point guard. You got guys that are listed as power forwards and centers that can really play point guard or shooting guard. I mean, this team is a blessing in disguise. And then you got guys off the bench with high energy that come in and match the intensity of our first group. It's a lot of fun to coach this group.
Long way in high school basketball, and Lakewood High School felt this season would be special because the Rangers are big, athletic, and deep.
People knew we were the real deal. Then we hit a slide. We hit a slide where we lost a couple games straight, and it was crazy. Here goes the big one, Olmsted Falls.
Respect the effort each of them has put forth preparing for tonight's game.
Our biggest opponent. We're playing them in the district semifinals. Winner plays Lorraine for the district championship. So all we can smell is a district title to go to the Sweet 16, and now our journey continues because we already beat Olmsted Falls and we already beat Lorraine. And so we wanted to prove that we belong. But this game from Olmsted Falls just was crazy. They came out shooting the lights out.
We started battling, coming back, and we made our climb back. But this play right here, this pump fake, shoots the ball, the most controversial foul call I've ever seen in my life. This is what pissed not only me, but 1,400 people off online. Like, referees watch this, people commented on Facebook and everything. I've never been so disheartened in my life for a group of kids. Like, look at this replay. Still bothers me to this day. Kid kicks his leg out and gets the call. And that one call changed the whole trajectory of this game. Kid knocked down all three free throws to put him up by 1. As a player, certain things like hit you, and different things affect you. And losses, you know, you can blame them on so much, and you know, you could think about what you did in a loss. But as a coach, when you lose, you feel like you put your team in the wrong position. And I get it. Everybody says every year that they're going to win the state championship, but I was really convinced that this group was going to win it. Like I said, we had 5 dudes that were over 6'5". We were one of the average, like, we were one of the tallest average heights around the state of Ohio. So this loss it hurt. I think even the city felt this one. That's all everybody would talk about is how special we were and how we were supposed to win. That 1-point loss killed us. So now moving into my 4th year, we had a group, and we only had one returning guy from that team, and it was Nate. And Nate had a lot of pressure on his shoulders. And to be quite honest with you, it's not that I didn't think Nate could take it. I just thought that the mountain was too high to climb. And his teammates just didn't seem serious. Like, guys were missing practice. They were missing pieces of the summer. And it just wasn't flowing like it had been in the past. What's crazy about this season is that these kids ended up being more special than we realized. And that's when we found out that they were gamers. We thought they were all taught, but these kids were cocky and confident, but they backed it up. They had an attitude that none of our teams had in the past, even though our teams in the past were more talented. And what's crazy is we had to get through my 2 hometown teams to win the championship that year. We had to play Elyria and Lorain, and Elyria was a semifinal game, and they had a losing record, but they ended up turning on at the last minute during the playoffs and made a run all the way to the district semifinals, which is about 3 games away from where they had to begin. So they had to upset some teams to get there, and they had a lead on us going into the into the 4th quarter, and then all of a sudden, you know, I had one conversation with Nate at the time, and Nate really he took the game over, and he showed what type of player he was. Like, just amazing. Like, really showed like his high caliber talent. And we ended up playing Lorain in the district semifinals, and Lorain you know, they just had a point where they went hot from the 3-point line and hit about 9 threes to beat us that game, and they sealed the deal. And that was the end of that. 5th year was super interesting. We had 2 returning guys. We had Pete and Riley, and you know, having those 2 is huge. Pete a veteran, Riley a veteran to a point. You know, he came in, and Pete and Riley did some incredible things that helped us along that run that we made at the end of the year 4, and that got us to the district championship for the first time in 20 years. I mean, that group really was something special. So they got to learn a lot. And having 2 veterans in high school basketball, that's a good amount of leadership that you can use. But, you know, again, like, you know, kids are battling demons and stuff at the time of the season, and they're going through things, and, you know, grades and home life, it all starts taking into effect. So, and your perfect season that you imagine, like, this is like, just like playing, like your season, you imagine it one way, but life has its curveballs that is thrown at you at the time. So everything doesn't fit right. And like I said, I wanted to suck the fear out of those guys and make sure that they didn't have any fear going into the season because of like the new guys of not playing varsity and the fear for the veterans of not having, you know, no veterans or no guys with experience, but those 2 that they wouldn't get caught up in, you know, they need to do everything. So I just wanted everybody to come in and play confidently. The season was a mess though. Guys were up and down, guys didn't show up to practice, guys were late to practice, guys didn't do their work in school. I mean, there was one part of the season where we had to have a Coach Carter lockout, and I ended up trying to, you know, I wanted to do a docu-series because I felt like that was important. You know, around that time, especially during that time, that was during the pandemic.
I'm Miles Harper, JV, point guard. They call me the Prodigy.
So now that Pete's back at practice, the whole vibe is changing. I mean, stemming from the game that we lost in the district championship to Lorraine to now, we're dealing with the pandemic, so guys didn't get to work out over the summer. So now we're dealing with a lot. There's a lot going on, a lot of mess, didn't know how to respond, and, you know, we got shut down twice during the season, but it was just different. So that season ended up like going in flames. We got eliminated, you know, second game of the playoffs, and it was all over. Or we got eliminated first game of the playoffs to a strong Cleveland Heights team, and it was just over with at that point. Working out and training over the summer, you know, I just found that I didn't have as much time for coaching as I needed, so I had to step back. But I still wanted to show my love and support for the school, so I had to take a step back to do my training and do my coaching that way. But I still talk to guys, and it's never an easy decision to step away from coaching, but, you know, I wanted to make sure I support. So when they had games, I went out and watched, and that's the most important thing you could do for kids, is just show that you're there, even if you're not, you know, in the same position that they know you in. So I'm not on the sidelines coaching, but I'm still in the crowd. I'm still supporting them. I'm still there. They can still call me. They can still text me, whatever they need. But now it's just time that I put my priorities first. Fear will be what you let it become. It's not real. It's a figment of your imagination. If you let fear consume your life, like, it's gonna be a long, hard road. You figure this out and you just stay faithful and hardworking, like, everything will start putting itself in place. But don't ever be afraid to put yourself out there. Not every opportunity is gonna be yours. You know, you may work hard for something and the opportunity may not work out, but that another door is gonna stem from that and open. And because you did this, that door opened. And some opportunities you're gonna work hard for and you're gonna get, and that opportunity is meant for you. But working hard in life is what it's all about. So don't let fear steer you away. That's all about what being a wolf is not having no fear and embracing the light and the darkness, because that's what wolves do. Wolves travel in the light and they travel at night. So don't let fear consume you.